Hello Australia, welcome to another Big Couch, episode 730 to be exact. We have got a fantastic music act today, 19-year-old, live and local, who's written his own song called Loops, and he's also singing a Bruno Mars song. His name is Baden. Millennium Kids are back. We're talking to Bella today, travel with Steve Collins, health with Dr. Joe. We've also got music today with Demelza Leonard, customer service with Chris Smoyer, and the Bitchin' team is back right at the end of the show. Hope you can stick around on Foxtel, only on Foxtel. The couch starts now.
It's showtime on the couch. It's showtime on the couch. You can see it from your house. You can see it from your house. It's showtime on the couch with Fred and the best in town. You can see it from your house. Yeah, it's showtime on the couch. Oh, oh.
Hello Australia, welcome to another Big Couch. Hope you can stick around for the next hour. We've got a big show. Nisha Seth has a very special guest from Millennium Kids. Her name is Bella. Over to you, Nisha.
Thank you so much, Fred. I'd like to welcome the co-president of Millennium Kids to the couch, Bella Pole.
Thank you for having me, Nisha. I'm really excited to be here tonight.
We've had a number of guests from Millennium Kids, and we're really excited to have you, as you've been involved for, nearly a decade now. You started when you were 10 years old.
Yeah, so I first got involved when Millennium Kids came to my local primary school and pitched like a scholarship program. And I was always really keen to see how I could help in my community and improve the environment, so I instantly took the opportunity. And since then, I've designed a bin which aimed to educate people about what to put in the bin because it was clear. So like the idea was it held people accountable. I've been to Indonesia to run environmental education programs, and now I'm working on a really exciting Agents for Climate Change project.
And that's a beautiful thing about Millennium Kids, isn't it? That it's here in Western Australia, you work with Indonesia, you're invited all over Australia, but you can do multiple projects over multiple years as well.
Yeah. So it's all about finding a project which you're interested in and then getting a mentor and getting other people around you to help you and make that idea real. And we really try to help young people make their dreams better than what they even aspire them to be.
That's fantastic. And we know that there's a lot of really important topics now in the media and just in general in the world, like climate change, which Millennium Kids are doing an enormous job in education and awareness. Tell us about, though, your role in Year 12 at school. How did you engage young people to get them actually involved and interested in such topics?
Yeah, so in Year 12, I was service captain at PLC, and when I went into the role, I was really, really excited to improve the sustainable footprint of the school and make the school more environmentally conscious. So I designed programs which aim to educate the students and the community about how to better look after their environment and then give them opportunities to better look after their environment at the school and in their own lives, and then also advocate for ways that they could take more action themselves. So, for example, we ran a screening of Damon Gameau's film 2040 to educate students, and then we did workshops around living waste-free lives, and then we also spoke at assemblies and at other events, which kind of used different techniques to help people understand and become motivated to reduce their environmental footprint.
That's awesome, because if I may, were there any obstacles around getting people engaged, or did you find, like, from a Millennium Kid perspective, born in the 2000s, for those of you that aren't sure, but there was anyone that wasn't wanting to get involved, or was everyone pretty engaged when you first started?
No, there were definitely a lot of obstacles. I think with such a diverse community, there were so many different priorities and everyone had different goals and things they wanted to achieve. And with that, some people pushed back, and it was all about overcoming those obstacles or working with people to try to find ways which worked for everyone and which made everyone happy.
So your negotiations and diplomacy skills are probably really important there.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's also about seeing the long-term vision. So whilst maybe the impact I had at my school in my final year wasn't as big as I thought it would be, looking back at it, I've really noticed that I actually did make an impact. So a few years after I left, they added sustainability as their 5th strategic pillar, and now they're including a lot more programs. So I think looking back and seeing the impact I made is really rewarding, and knowing that will likely happen is...
Well done, because I think there's a lot of research that says peers, actually educating other peers is much more effective. Obviously teachers are important in school, but you being involved directly would have had a huge impact. Now you're still involved with Millennium Kids. Why? You know, I guess what kind of skills or what do you get from it now?
I think it's really fulfilling for me to see that I'm making an impact to other young people's lives and also to the general community. It's really rewarding to see other people benefit from the work that I do. So at the moment, the project I'm working on is the Agents for Climate Change project, which is all around using the principles of deliberative democracy to engage young people in the decision-making process and to educate them with the skills and the knowledge to make informed decisions about how to improve their local community, and then to give them the skills and the mentoring to actually create projects and make those projects real so they can take action in their own community. And seeing those projects come to life is really, really rewarding, and I feel like I'm making my own positive impact in our world.
That's so beautiful, hearing you speak. It's so inspirational and so needed, isn't it? It's important to understand theory, but also operationalise it. That's a whole nother step, and to keep people motivated. And you are so passionate. So tell me though, just before we go, what is your most favourite, actually that's bad English, your favourite Millennium Kids memory?
So Millennium Kids works in WA, but also in Indonesia and other parts of the world. And I really, really love the events where we can bring up different cultures together, because these different cultures, they all have different experiences and different knowledge, but we all have that same passion for the environment and the same passion for helping young people. So we've run a few online conferences, and my trip to Indonesia, I think those activities are definitely my favourite.
Beautiful. Well, I think that diversity and inclusion element there, and you told me a bit about your background too, your mix, so that I think that's fantastic that you bring that into the work that you do. What would you say to any kids out there who want to get involved?
If you look on our Millennium Kids website, there's a spot where you can look for a mentor, and I'll just pitch your project and write something in there saying that you want to be involved, and we'll set you up with a mentor and make your dreams and your project come true.
Well, Bella, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show, and we're looking forward to maybe having you back at some stage. You can tell us about how your current project's going. Well done. We need a lot of people like you to lead us into the future. And of course, if anyone's missed out on any of that information, you can go to thecouch.com.au or our Facebook page. But look, yeah, all the best in all your future work.
Thank you for having me, Nisha.
Absolute pleasure. And for now, it's back to you, Fred.
Thank you, Nisha. Thank you to Bella as well. Bella, just a quick question. Do you see yourself maybe down the track getting involved with politics?
I'm really enjoying my work in the corporate world at the moment, so maybe into the future, but at the moment, I don't think so.
And are you happy with the new government's approach to climate change and emissions and all that type of thing that they're working on, making it a priority?
I think it's slow progress, but it's slowly getting there.
It's getting there, isn't it? Well done. Keep up the good work as well for a young person. Very passionate at Millennium Kids, and other people can join Millennium Kids too if they're interested. Get in touch with them through their website. But now we've got a young guy centre stage who's going to perform for us. His name is Baden. He's got a Bruno Mars song. It's called The Lazy Song, and then we'll talk to Steve.
Today I don't feel like doing anything. I just wanna lay in my bed. Don't feel like picking up my phone, so leave a message at the tone. 'Cause today I swear I'm not doing anything. Yeah, I'm gonna kick my feet up and stare at the fan. Turn the TV on, throw my hand in my pants. Nobody's gonna tell me I can't. Yeah, I'll be lying in my house just chilling in my Snuggie. Click to MTV so they can teach me how to Dougie. In my castle I'm the frickin' man. Oh yes, I said it, I said it, I said it 'cause I can. Today I don't feel like doing anything. I just wanna lay in my bed. Don't feel like picking up my phone, so leave a message at the tone. 'Cause today I swear I'm not doing anything, nothing at all. Woo-hoo, woo-hoo, woo. Nothing at all. Woo-hoo, woo-hoo, woo. Yeah, tomorrow I'll wake up, do some P90X, meet a really nice girl, have some really nice text, and she's gonna scream out, "This is great." Yeah, I might mess around and get my college degree. Bet my old man will be so proud of me. Sorry, Pops, you'll just have to wait. Oh, yes, I said it, I said it, I said it 'cause I can. Today I don't feel like doing anything. I just wanna lay in my bed. Don't feel like picking up my phone, so leave a message at the tone. 'Cause today I swear I'm not doing anything, nothing at all. Woo-hoo, woo-hoo, woo. 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 Nothing at all.
That is, of course, Baden, 19 years old, West Australian local act. He'll be back at nearly the end of the show with a song he wrote himself, an original. Please stay tuned for that one. But another original on the couch today. He is our travel guy, Steve Collins. Welcome back.
Thanks very much for
Nice
having
to
me
see
on
you.
after the lazy song. That's
Yes.
great. And also Millennium Kids. I'm a millennium. I'm 1,000 years old.
Well,
as
you
well.
are a millennium,
Yeah, I
funny
know.
enough, just the
Yes,
wrong
been-
millennium.
Been there for several centuries, yeah.
And can I say the lazy song follows travel, because we're all lazy when we go to travel.
Oh, no, you've got... No!
No?
No! I
See, I
love
like
travel.
doing
I
nothing.
keep busy. I'm busy doing when I'm travelling. I like to do stuff.
Tell people a little bit of a background where we're going today.
Right, well, we're going to go to Sarawak again. We're going to go to Kuching, because I went up to Sarawak. They have the Rainforest World Music Festival there. It was the 25th anniversary this year. The last 2 years were all online because of COVID. And so it was a fantastic experience. But when I went there, I went to a place called the Demi Beach, and I stayed at the Demi Beach Resort. Now, this is about 50 minutes out of the capital city of Kuching, the capital city in Sarawak of Kuching, and it's on a peninsula there, and the Demi Beach is sort of under Mount Satubong, which is an enormous big mountain there, and it is the most beautiful spot because they haven't had a lot of tourists there for the last 2 years,
Hasn't
and they're
been
just
spoilt.
reopening the hotel. But look at that beach.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
That beach, I walked into the water and it was so warm and so clean, and the sunsets were gorgeous. They got this nice little sort of
Cafe,
pub there
yes.
right on the beach as well, and everybody gets there at sunset because the sunsets there are just to die for. But it's a really, really good hotel. The good thing about it was all the media like myself and all the musicians and that were staying there, so it was a really, really
Is there a
great
lot to
place
do? A lot to do there?
Well, there's a lot. Yeah, but I found plenty of stuff
Yeah.
to do. Every Saturday night, they have this bonfire and they have a barbecue on the beach, and it is just wonderful.
Nothing wrong
the
with the barbecue.
staff there are absolutely fabulous. The food was brilliant,
Yeah.
and it's just such a lovely, lovely place to go and visit.
looks
So, the Demi Beach was right across the road from the Sarawak Cultural Village, and that is enormous, and that is where they hold the Rainforest World Music Festival. Now, world music means that they are either playing traditional songs or they're playing modern music played on traditional instruments, but usually if they're doing that, then they've got like a bass, drums, etc.
How many
guitars.
performers would there be at one event?
Heaps.
Oh, okay.
There were a lot of them this year because a lot of people couldn't travel. They had them on a big screen.
There's some
They had them on a huge screen, and you've got all these individual artists have their own little theatres and performance spaces.
Wow.
This is the big one. This is enormous. This is the main stage. That's an Australian group called Blue Guru, and what they do is they do hillbilly versions of Bollywood musicals.
Oh, it'll be fun.
These group from Canada, they're sort of a Mandarin funk group, if you like. They're absolutely brilliant. The crowd was sensational. It was huge. There were tens of thousands of people there, and everyone's rocking and rolling.
Does it happen every year?
It happens every year. It's going to start in June now every year. This was the first one in June. But look at this.
Oh, amazing.
Thousands and thousands. What a great atmosphere it was.
Where do all those people come from? They're obviously coming from...
Most of them, well, there were a lot of travellers there because I met Australians, I met Brits, I met Germans who were there for the festival. But most of them are from Malaysia.
Oh, okay.
Because it's about 50 minutes out of Kuching. So a lot of them, you can't park there. They get bussed in. It's all part of the ticket, you know.
Looks good.
But it was just such a fantastic event. I had the great pleasure of meeting and becoming friends with a lot of the musicians.
You didn't perform yourself, I noticed.
Oh yeah, well I didn't get up on stage because I would have taken up the whole stage, Fred. But but it really was. It was really, and it's in a rainforest, so it's surrounded by lush foliage, and they've got these lights up there, and it's just a perfect place.
Is it an expensive place for people to travel to?
No.
Is it
no,
affordable?
The costs up there are really cheap because after all this, I spoke about last time, I went up deep into the rainforest, but then I went to Kuching.
I love Kuching.
Is the capital of Sarawak, and what a great city it is. It's on the Sarawak River, which is quite a wide river, and it's got a very, very good history. You had the British Raj there, a guy called Brooks, who was basically he was basically an emperor of that whole region. But no, Kuching was a fabulous city. There's all these wonderful buildings. Their parliament there is a very, very modern take on a traditional Sarakian house. And then they've got a great Chinatown there. There's some brilliant shopping.
Beautiful.
This is all on the Sarawak.
Is that like a water taxi?
Oh, that's a little taxi, yeah.
Oh, wow.
They've got all these colonial buildings. Fantastic shopping there. That's the Parliament House across the river there. It's really, really modern.
For those people
good
who
hotels,
love shopping as well.
But you know what? The food there... Oh, this is a local busker. And you can do little cruises. One of the shopping streets there. You get such good bargains.
Yeah.
I bought my dear wife a hell of a lot of scarves because it was such. Don't tell her, but they were so cheap. And I love that they've got this street art as well, and there's this wonderful architecture. That's the entrance to the local Chinatown. I had such a great time there, and the food was absolutely brilliant. Really, really, really cheap. I mean, obviously, you eat Malaysian food, but there's all sorts of food.
Look,
there
I went there many years ago, and I have to say the shopping was huge then, and even bigger now.
Oh, it is,
so you've got shopping, you've got local events, you've got music events, you've got fantastic people.
They also have a jazz festival, but that's in Miri, which is a couple of hours flight away.
Yep.
So they do all these things there. And Sarawak itself is the biggest state in Malaysia. It's on the island of Borneo. Kuching's got a population of around about 700,000. So it is a modern city. It's a big city.
Steve, out of 5, what would you give the place?
I got to give it 4.5 out of 5. I can't give it 5 because you got
you
nowhere to go.
You want to have a little bit of room there.
A little room there.
Sounds fantastic.
I had a fabulous time. It was just brilliant. The whole event was just brilliant, and it was the first overseas trip I've had in 2.5 years. I suppose that helped. But no, the people there were lovely. Everyone's friendly.
Where can people find out more information about
your
organisation?
Well, they can go to tellmewheretogo.com, which is my website, or they can go to my Tell Me Where to Go YouTube channel because I'm concentrating more on YouTubes and podcasts
Lots of videos
now.
There.
The videos and do interviews and stuff like that.
Fantastic.
But it's just a wonderful destination. And, Malaysia, so close. It was 5.5 hours flight to KL, and then I think it was about an hour and a half to Kuching.
Wonderful.
Such a great destination.
I am so glad to see travel back on the agenda.
Oh, so am I.
If you're out there and you're a travel agent, by the way, and you want Steve to go out and promote a part of the world, contact us.
Any part of the world.
We'll put you through to Steve. He's more than happy to do it and give you some good promotion. So get involved with The Couch. Steve, thank you very much. We'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Oh, thanks, Fred. Yes, we'll look forward to coming back.
Cruising is coming back very soon too, so hopefully Steve will cover that as well. We're going to take a break. Dr. Joe is coming up soon talking to Nisha. Stick around, we'll see you after the break. Welcome back to the couch. Always nice to have Dr. Joe Costridge in the studio to tell us how to get healthy. Nisha's talking to him. Over to you, Nisha.
Thank you so much, Fred, and welcome back, Dr. Joe.
Good to see you, Nisha and Fred.
Have you been on any holidays recently?
No, but pending.
Oh, yeah, because I remember talking to you before and you were going somewhere sunny, so that's nice.
It's looming up to go to New Zealand.
Ah, beautiful.
A bit of holiday, but also to visit family.
Oh, that'll be very nice. Now, today I'm very excited because we're talking about a topic which is a bit of a myth as well, I guess. We're going to work it out, but that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. True or false, or is there an in-between?
False. And the main reason for saying false is that there comes a time when concepts are so sort of ingrained and they've been spoiled by so many people that nobody goes back and says, well, how did we arrive at this? Why do we actually... But we just accept it. It is, believe the science.
Yeah.
And you go back and you find out, and I was staggered to learn this about 5 or 6 years ago, that this concept actually came from Kellogg's as a marketing slogan.
Wow, thank you,
So
Kellogg's.
John Harvey Kellogg, who was in fact a doctor by profession, but set up the eponymous breakfast cereal company and clearly wanted to sell breakfast cereal and told everybody that breakfast was the most important meal of the day. There's a whole other story about why he developed breakfast cereal as an alternate to what was being eaten in America at the time, which was typically bacon and eggs, but that's a long story for another day.
Okay.
But essentially, that was a marketing slogan. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. By the way, here are some breakfast cereals and you can eat them. So
Worked
it's
well.
not. It is not the most important meal of the day.
Okay.
And there's no particular need for people to eat breakfast if they don't feel hungry. Now, for some people, they get up in the morning and they need some energy. And that may be from coffee, or maybe they actually do get hungry, and those people need to eat breakfast. But there's a lot of people that you talk to and say, oh, I don't really feel hungry, but they say I should eat breakfast, so I do. No, if you don't feel hungry, you don't need to eat breakfast. Now, this work that was done recently looked at, and this is particularly for weight loss, people who either didn't eat breakfast or only ate it after 11 o'clock and were fasting for variably 14 or 16 hours. And surprise, surprise, those people tended to lose more weight when they were on a weight loss program.
Interesting. Okay, so they're just eating for 8 hours during the day then?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the 16-8 essentially is you're only eating, yes, within that 8-hour window. There's a few variations on that theme. And one of them is also the 5-2, which is Michael Mosley's book, where you eat very little on 2 days of the week. Yeah. But the 16-8, for a lot of people, is quite sustainable because we are creatures of habit. And once we get used to eating 2 meals a day instead of 3, for most people, and I've got to again emphasise there are going to be exceptions, and particularly if they're insulin-dependent diabetics, then they need to match their meals to their insulin. Yeah. But for most people, you can get up in the morning. If you want to have a cup of coffee, make sure you have some water. You don't want to be dehydrated, but you can quite happily go through to 11, 12 o'clock. What it means is twofold. Number one, if you are fasting intermittently, then you'll put the body into fat burning mode. The body's going to burn up its fat reserves. That's what it does. That's what they're there for. And you will liberate ketones, so the body tips into ketosis. And the term the keto diet comes from that idea. And everybody goes, oh, ketos, that's really dangerous. Ketoacidosis is a dangerous condition, and particularly in type 1 diabetics. Nothing to do with ketosis. Ketosis is the body liberating ketones because it's burning fat. So it's actually a good thing. And some people who take this quite seriously will get the urine strips at home and test whether there's ketones in their urine, and that's telling them, yes, I'm burning fat, which is what you want.
Good.
And then between variably 11 or 12 and 7 or 8, you can have some lunch and then have your dinner. And typically people don't end up eating the equivalent of 3 meals in the 2. Now, for some people, they do get hungry and need something in the morning, and the best thing is something that will keep you going for a while, and that could be rolled oats, it could be some egg and or avocado, it could be some lean meat, some sautéed vegetable. What you really want to avoid...
And avocados are very cheap right now.
Smashed or otherwise. What you really want to avoid are most breakfast cereals, which are really high in sugar, no matter how many ticks or elephant stamps they get on the box.
Right, okay.
And toast, or most toast, certainly not the ones that aren't dense, so like a rye maybe or sourdough might be okay, but essentially those high carb foods will put you into fat storage. mode.
Okay, right.
And if you particularly, and for most people, but certainly if you're wanting to lose weight, you don't want to be in fat storage mode, you want to be in fat burning mode.
No, and just quickly, any difference amongst different age groups? So, you know, kids quite often might be like, I don't want breakfast, or if I have breakfast, I just want some sugary Cocoa Pops or something. Is it better, you know, is there any different rules, or once again?
Principles are the same. Look, it is probably a good thing for children to have something to start the day because they will tend to skip lunch. I mean, most parents out there will know about lunch boxes coming back, particularly for boys, uneaten, and then at 3 or 3:30 they want to raid the fridge because they're really hungry because playing with their mates or, you know, friends is more important, and that's, you know, that's
and
just
their
normal kids.
concentration and so
So,
forth,
yeah, ideally for children, something to start the day, but, you know, again, you don't want to try and, I don't want to use the term force feed them, but give them something that's nutritious, and for them, get them on their way with something, because again, they're probably not likely to have that meal at midday, or less likely anyway.
And I'm also hearing listen to your body. So if you're not necessarily hungry in the morning, then you don't need to eat, but maybe you're just having a coffee or something like that will be fine.
That's the key.
Yeah.
For some people, they're going to be hungry and they're going to need their breakfast. And other people who are saying, I'm actually hungry, but they're telling me I should eat breakfast. No, for those people, don't do it.
Give yourself permission. Gosh, thank you for giving us the permission. It's always great to myth bust with you. So in terms of finding out more, where do people go if they want to contact you as
They
well?
can go to the website, drjoetoday.com.
Okay, wonderful. Well, thank you so much for coming on, and we'll look forward to seeing you probably in a couple of weeks again.
Thanks, Nisha.
Lovely. If you've missed any of that, you can go to thecouch.com.au or our Facebook page, of course. But it's back to you, Fred.
Thank you very much, Nisha. I wanted to ask Dr. Joe just a quick question. As you're probably not aware, I've had gastric sleeve. I've lost about 20 kilos. Dr. Joe, they tell me to take multivitamins. I can't take them. They make me sick and I feel not very good with them. Are they really needed, or can I replace them with something else?
Right, if you've been advised by your practitioner, the key thing after that type of surgery is to make sure you're getting enough nutrition, and you'll be eating quite a lot less. That's the whole aim of it. But you still need those essential vitamins and minerals. Now, if the tablets aren't agreeable, there are a number of powder forms that you can make up into a drink. So that's certainly an option to explore. And they'll often be more palatable if you're not really finding the tablets or capsules agreeable.
But they're important, and I've got to take
Absolutely. You don't want to become vitamin or mineral deficient.
Guess what I'm doing when I get home? Yeah, well, guess what I'm doing when I get home? Eating the whole jar, I think. No, look, thank you very much, Dr. Joe. Thank you, Tanisha. We're going to take a break. Coming up after the break, we've got a fabulous array of guests. We've actually got talking music with Demelza Leonard, and then we've got talking customer service with Chris Moyer. We'll see you on the other side of this break. Welcome back to the couch. Always nice to talk to Demelza Leonard, who's on the couch now from DL Social. Welcome back.
Hello.
Nice to have you here. And I do love the blue.
Oh,
Blue
thank
is
you.
your colour, but more importantly, it's my colour as well. And I do think it would go well with this blue jacket. But
Well,
we
if
won't
I see something similar, I'll give you the heads
Even
up.
if it's slightly smaller size, because we did try it on in the break. It was a little bit
It
loose
didn't
on me,
quite
but
work. No.
you look lovely.
Thank you.
We're talking music today. Demelza, what's happening with Beyonce? She's got a new album?
Brand new album is finally arrived. It's her 7th album called Renaissance.
Yes.
So that was released last week. The first release off it was Break My Soul, that did really well. Surprisingly, didn't crack the top 10 here in Australia, but TikTok has picked it up. So there's a few viral videos now with the song, so it could go viral.
Explain to me something. TikTok, I know you know everything about social media. Just quickly, what's the difference between TikTok and Instagram?
So Instagram is trying to be TikTok at the moment. TikTok is a lot more short videos, whereas Instagram started off originally as a photo sharing app.
And is TikTok driven to young people under 20?
Gen Z's kind of jumped on TikTok, whereas millennials and Gen Xers tend to be on Instagram. It's more user friendly.
Is it because young people don't focus for very long, so they like things to be 30 seconds, not 10
Quite
minutes?
possibly. Also, young people are more confident on camera. They've grown up with smartphones. So, you know, the other generations aren't as confident in front of the smartphones and the cameras.
She knows everything. Well done. That was just a test. Need some social
Did I
media
nail it?
advice? Go and see her, please. Now, what's happening with, is it Pulp to return?
Yeah, so Pulp has... they are back. They are coming back. They released an Instagram.
Who are they?
They're an old Britpop band from the late 90s, 2000s. They had a song called Common People that
I
did
know
huge
Common
things. You
People,
know the one
yes.
I'm talking about?
Yes, I do.
So they announced on Instagram that Jarvis Cocker, rather the frontman, announced that there's a 6th album coming out, as well as they'll be reuniting. Now, this is the first time since they've reunited it back in 2011. They'll be doing shows, whether they're heading around Australia, whether they'll be doing an international tour, or whether it's just going to be based in the UK and Europe, we're not sure, but more details will be coming to hand
Pulp,
lately. So if you're a Britpop fan,
You'll know Pulp, and
Let's
you'll be
hope.
glad to see them back.
Yes.
Now, is it true Britney Spears is doing a song with Elton, or they're performing together? What's happening there?
I mean, a lot of people are talking about Britney coming back, and if you're going to come back, why
Elton
not
John.
do it with Elton John? So sources are saying, and there's multiple sources, multiple outlets are actually saying that she has gone into the studio with Elton John and has created a remake of Tiny Dancer. So yeah, and apparently she's back. She performed amazingly. People are saying that they're excited about this release. It is rumoured to be out at the end of this month from Universal, so they've even got the label behind it as well. There is no official confirmation from either Britney's or Elton John's camp,
Yep.
but I guess we will know very shortly.
Do you know what? I
what's
can see
happening.
them singing "I'm Still Standing" together. That would be a
Gosh.
perfect song for
I'm not
Britney.
sure.
Or maybe it's no sacrifice.
Well, he's just done that with Dua Lipa though,
didn't
with
like
Cold
it.
Heart.
What about some ABBA? ABBA should reunite with Elton.
Maybe ABBA should reunite
You
with
know,
Elton.
Dancing Queen.
Why not?
No, look, fantastic news. Good luck to Britney. It's nice to see her back and doing
Yes.
what she wants to in life.
Yes.
What else have we got? Anything else? Just the top threes.
Just the top three.
Nothing
Yeah.
happening in ABBA news?
No, nothing.
Any big
happening.
artists coming to Perth?
Lots of big artists
I
are
know.
coming to
RAC Arena,
Perth.
most
Groove
people.
Armada's just announced they're doing Kings Park Botanic Gardens, so
Yep.
they're doing a day on the green S.
Bjorn again is coming as well.
There you go, Beyond again. R&B Fridays, which is now going to be called Fridays Live, gets announced very shortly. So
Beautiful.
expect a whole heap of artists coming for that. Not sure
Fantastic.
who. My sources won't give up any information, but we'll know very soon.
You'll know. You'll tell us when you do know.
Of course.
What's happening with the top three? Just
Let's
have a look at them
check
on
out.
screen. You always pick the best 3 songs.
Let's have a look.
Let's go to
Coming
number
in
3.
at number 3, it's Glimpse of Us, Joji. It's gone down 1 spot
Yeah.
because it is playing Seesaw with Harry Styles, who's
Oh,
back
there you
up
go.
1 spot with As It Was.
Okay.
And number 1, still running up that hill,
please,
Kate Bush.
give me a break.
She's still number 1.
I don't like the song
I
anymore.
think we might see it start to drop now. I think it's run its
I think
course
she's
and we will
just
start
pushing
to
it uphill
see
all the
a
way.
few changes.
Running up
Hopefully.
a hill. Look, I love the fact that Stranger Things has made that a $1 million song again. But I just think, I've heard it that many on everything. I'm just sick of it.
I think
do you
everything's
like
picked
it?
up on it. I didn't
not
like
your
it when
thing?
it first came out, and I'm partial to it, to be perfectly honest. It's on the radio, yeah, okay, I'll listen to it, but it's not something I'd go out and get myself.
Fantastic. Now, if you're out there and you want Demelza to maybe look up an old artist that you haven't heard for many years and want to know where they are, where are they now, basically, just send us an email here to The Couch. Go through our website, of course, on Facebook, and maybe Demelza, you can look up that information
Definitely,
and tell
I
us
can
where they
track
are.
down
I'll
and
give you one.
find
to
out
look
what's
for.
going.
ABBA, have you heard of them?
Yes, I have. They have a holographic tour, a hologram tour that's going around at the moment.
I tell you what, I would have
Holographic.
thought that would never have worked, and yet people love it. They get any
You
sort of
know.
ABBA, they're happy with, isn't it?
That's it.
Demelza, before we go, how can people get help from you with their social media?
Yeah, so I help them with social media management, social media strategy, marketing management, marketing strategy. So we do a range of things for a range of industries, and they can contact us through our website at dlsocial.com.au or demelzaleonard.com.
And how do we follow you on Instagram so they know the style that you do?
Yeah, so Instagram is Demelza Leonard or DL_social.
Fantastic, Demelza. Thank you very much. It's
Thank
always a
you.
pleasure to have you here talking
Always
music.
fun.
Baden is back. He's got an original song. Demelza is here to judge that song because she's a music expert. The song is called Loops. He's written it, performing it himself, centre stage. Here's Baden.
love your dance, I love your dance and more. 'Cause you are everything I could have asked. You smile more than me. We held the door and key. I have found the one for me at last. I'm just a lover, but I'm shy all the time. I hold your hand and you hold on to mine. We're making memories that will last forever. I know these feelings never change the light in me. You'll bite your lips and cheek. We melt our kiss in leaves. 'Cause you are everything and even more. We're stuck in loops and knots. We're on the loose till dusk. We will open every single door. I'm just a lover, but I'm shy all the time. I hold your hand and you hold on to mine. We're making memories that will last forever. I know these feelings never change. We crossed the grass and there we run in the night. We lit the flame and there we put out the fire. We're making memories that will last forever. I know these feelings never change the light in me. We're still just teenagers living life. 'Cause we get drunk from time to time. I'm always happy 'cause I know that it's you. I know these feelings never change the light in me.
Thank you very much. That is, of course, Baden. Well done. We'll have him back on the show again. And love the discussion with him. We talked about Bali and how it's bustling, but he will never go back again. 19-year-old, never wanting to go back to Bali. Amazing. Let's talk customer service. Maybe Chris Moyer can help Bali improve their outlook on travel. Let's talk to Nisha as well. Find out what's happening. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Fred. Yeah, it's very exciting to have Chris back on the couch. You're pretty much an old friend or like part of the furniture here.
Yeah, I'm getting stuck here. No, it's good. Good to be back again, Nisha. Yeah.
So, Chris, what are we talking about today?
So today we're going to be talking about why, and I've got to share an experience in a moment when I introduce it, but we're going to be talking about why in customer service, in business, we should actually overthink what customers might be thinking. So I hope that's not too complicated, but why it's good to start overthinking what could be potentially on a customer's mind.
Yeah, it's not making assumptions or being too aesthetic.
Well, no, to start making some assumptions in case, and maybe I should share a story to introduce this.
Please, yes.
So the other day, my wife got her car serviced for her first 12 months, the first 12-month service, and I went to the dealership with her because she dropped her car off and then I drove her to work. And as she was booking her car in, I was just sort of standing there, and it was early in the morning, and I noticed that the salesman that sold us our car was just sitting a few desks away, and sure enough, he was just there working away, but the dealership was closed, the sales part, and the dealership was closed, and we were there at the service part. And I know through working in the car sales or the car industry that there's this huge disconnect between the service department and the sales department. And I just wondered out there, let's just put it out there, what if the salesperson could have a list of everyone who's coming in for their car to be serviced that day? And just in the morning, he wandered over and said, "Hey, you guys, I remember you from when I sold you the car 12 months ago. Just wanted to say hi."
Yeah,
okay?
Lovely. So more connection.
Could have done it. He was right there. It's an easy thing to do, but he didn't. Now, then I started overthinking it. Now, this is the interesting thing is not everyone might overthink, but I was. So then I started thinking, well, if he came over and said, "Hey, remember me, just wanted to check in how your car's going, how's it been over the last 12 months, etc., I would have actually gone, "You know what, that was really nice, and I think he cares." The opposite to that could be, well, hey, he only cared when he made the sale. He doesn't care anymore. He's got his sale.
Yeah.
It's up to service now. and then handball it onto service.
You know, I like that, Chris, because it's overthinking. But what it also is, I think, and I'm looking at this from a psychology hat, is that it's like you're mapping. You're looking at different, like you're taking a scenario, you're looking at different touch points, and then you're empathy mapping. You're kind of going around and going, what will the customer think? What will, you know, what could he do? What could continue? That's awesome.
But I think it's exactly, and I think it's pretty useful to do that because, for instance, some customers may not care. Oh, yep, the salesman, no worries. Some may not care. Some might, but that's the interesting thing. Regardless of whichever way you look at it, if he got up and said, hey, I just wanted to say hi, I remember you from last year, you know, whatever. In case, this is the point, in case I was thinking that he was just a greedy, slimy salesman that just wanted to take the commission and then not worry about us. Having that in the back of your mind, I think, is almost like the reason to get up off your chair and do it. That's kind of what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say that if we had this almost superstition or belief that a customer may be thinking something, even if they're not, I think it's still worth giving it a go.
That's above and beyond, isn't it, really?
Well, that's right, because no one tells you to do it. He didn't have to do it. And you know what? He doesn't even have to know that, you know, he gets a list every morning and it's got our name on the list and he goes over. He could just, you know, almost act it out. And I think that's the great thing about, you know, about service. There are many things in our business that are so, you know, prescriptive. They're, you know, they're policies, they're procedures. But I think in the delivery of it, we can actually make it very theatrical. So, for instance, I, as a customer, don't need to know that he had a printout of all of the customers' names coming the next day. He could have got up and he could have just waltzed up and almost on his way to get coffee, like almost staged it. You know, he's getting his cup of coffee and goes, hey, I know you, and sort of wandered over like that.
That makes it more fun for him, right?
Exactly, exactly. But you know, I think, you know, too often we get into this rut, and actually last time I was on the couch when you were away, I was talking to Fred, and we're talking about autopilot. Just you know, that we just get into our job and we just you know do the same thing over and over and over again, and that's probably what he did. You know, no disrespect to him, but or her if it was a lady, but you know, coming into the dealership, sitting down, open up the computer, the first thing we do is check our emails. You know, at 8 a.m. when the service department is open, it's busy, it's bustling. You know, I think that's a great touch point too. You know, the service department gets a lot of attention first thing in the morning, and I think that's the interesting point, that in any industry, anyone who may be watching in any industry, it's really useful to look at, well, your job might be pretty quiet, but
what else
the reception, front of house might be really bustling, and can you lend a hand? Can you pop over and say hi and remember people and connect with them?
Yeah, and you know, we're talking about the car service industry, but of course, most service industries, you get people in from all walks of life doing different, you know, occupations, and so what you're saying is absolutely applicable pretty much to any industry, would you say? Like, to really consider this in the whole service line? Any
industry. There is literally none that I don't think matters. I mean, any industry, reception. You know, I was working with a local government department recently, and actually, interestingly, the CEO happened to be walking across the car park and said someone was trying to find an art exhibition that wasn't actually there. Like, they thought it was an exhibition in the library, but they were mistaken. And there's a CEO of a local government authority, you know, taking these customers around and trying to find where it is. But my point is that he was caught off guard, but I still think, you know, in front of house areas, it's very important to sort of to be present, to be connected, and lend a hand when you can.
So overthinking what your customer might be thinking, very important. Where can people find out more?
Yes, so you can give me a call at Chris, or send me an email, at chris@chrissmoyer.com, or my website is chrissmoyer.com. And if you don't get in touch with me, I might overthink that you don't want anything to do with me. So maybe get in touch.
Well, look, we're very lucky that you do overthink. That's why you're such a good customer service expert. So thank you for coming back on.
My pleasure.
We'll look forward. You've got a book coming out soon too, which is very exciting.
Yeah, hope we can launch that on the couch later this year. I've just put it out there, but there's a lots to come. So all of these segments, they're leading somewhere. So
beautiful. Well, we're very excited to be on that journey with you.
Thanks, Nisha.
And if, of course, you've missed any of that, you can always catch it on thecouch.com.au or our Facebook page. We'll see you soon, Chris.
See you then.
And it's back to you, Fred.
Thank you very much, Nisha and Chris. Chris, can I just tell you, maybe the car yard thought, oh, what a pain in the backside. He screwed us over the price, and we still have to say hello to him. But I tell you what, that's what happens to me. Whenever I go to the car yard, they run the other way. But DVG Morley Hyundai and Kia are amazing. They wash the car, they give me a car to take home, they never ask me to put petrol in the car. They are way beyond what I expect, and they do a great job. The other thing I notice is with banks now, folks, with the mortgages. I had a great experience with the NAB who I'm with. I rang them up and said, interest rates are getting too expensive. They went from 2 to 4%, say. And I said, is there a discount you can give me? They said, no, but we're going to put it in as a complaint. Monday came along, they rang me and said, we don't want you to refinance. We're going to give you $1,500 cash to keep you here. So I only have to stay another 3 months, take the $1,500 and then refinance. Customer service, bliss.
Beautiful.
You're sticking around for bitchin'?
I'll be here for bitchin'. Yeah.
Nisha's going home. She's had enough. Good on you. Thank you, Nisha. Thank you, Chris. We'll see you after the break. And we hope you return after the break. We've got bitchin'. Yes, I know what you're thinking, but it'll be good today. Chris Ilsley's away. See you after the break.
Connect with The Couch online through Facebook, Instagram and YouTube.
Hello Australia, welcome back to The Couch. It's always a pleasure when we have the next guests on. It is of course time for bitchin'. And let me introduce the bitches for today. We've got Chris Moyer, of course, communications expert. Thank you, Chris, for being here, filling in for Chris Ilsley, who's got COVID at the moment. Nat Foster, did you get caught hugging or holding Chris? You might have COVID.
I think he licked my nose because I had COVID a little while ago.
But you had a mask, you were fine.
I did, but he went under the mask and up my nostril.
That's Chris.
I think he wanted to get it.
Give him an inch, he takes a mile.
I know, I enjoyed it though.
Thank you. Nat Foster, by the way. You work with a wonderful company.
I do, Zammy Pet.
And what do they do?
They do dog supplements.
Beautiful.
So calmatives, things for multifunctional joint issues. So
and she's one of their leading salespeople, so well done.
So that's why Chris licked you. It's that doggy thing coming out.
Well, no, he didn't do any doggy things, but he did lick her. But Ted, talk about...
There was the last Christmas party.
How much is that doggy in the window? Ted, welcome back. Expert of everything. Acting,
yes,
media,
the whole thing,
politics, everything.
The whole box of
Welcome
dice.
back. Let's start with you. What's your story?
I am talking about something that I really wish to bitch about. Now, people have been so upset over a lettuce costing $10. Now, what is a lettuce? A lettuce is 95% water and a few bits of vitamin K that do nothing for you. You may as well have a glass of water and a mouthful of grass. However, at the moment, we have a glut of avocados.
Yes,
and you can get two for $2.60. Now, I checked up on the avocado, and it's actually from South America, and the Aztecs word for avocado is ahucatl. Ahucatl. And you're wondering, Fred, what ahucatl means?
Yes, please.
It means testicle.
Oh, that's why the avocados...
That's exactly right. That is exactly right. And it's also known as the alligator pear. And alligators have a pair of ahuhukahuhus, okay? Which is absolutely fascinating. Now, I know you're going to say straight away... No.
Does anyone else can...
Could this face lie? Now, you might say, in my hand, I have an avocado, but that's not an avocado. That's an avocado. And there is a hint of Crocodile Dundee in that statement, and I've renamed it a Crocodile Cohoney.
I was thinking there has a touch of testicles about that.
It does.
I thought to myself...
Feel that. It even feels like one.
It does.
Smashed avo.
And I thought, here we go.
Watch all the boys close their legs.
I thought Ted must have gone over the age for free testicle testing with Medicare. You just dropped it down your pants. That's okay. We can still tell they're bigger than the normal ones.
So, therefore, why buy a lettuce for $10 when you can have a couple of these little babies?
And they're good for you.
Little baby, they bring little baby. Yeah, they're great. And, whilst I'm talking about very quickly,
yes.
Blokes, libido.
Really?
Good. You've tried it, have you?
And women.
Yeah.
Good.
Are they good for?
Oh, they're good for. Well, they're good for that time of your life when you're feeling a little uncomfortable, and
like
the lady.
When the painters and dockers are in.
Yeah.
Pass her that avocado because she's feeling uncomfortable.
I am.
No, you eat the avocado.
Oh, no, I thought it was to fill my bra up.
I tell you what, with the libido thing, does it happen instantly or do you have to wait a week for it to take effect?
There you go, mate. Have a go.
Thank you. I'll do it by the end
You
of the
actually
show.
don't eat it, Fred. You put it down your pants.
This is a good quality one. Thank you very much, Ted.
And it's just a nice texture.
And can we also say, because of all the avocado
Yes.
growers around Australia, we've got plenty of stock apparently here in Australia. Please support them.
Yeah.
They're Australian, they're local, they're cheap at the moment.
They're good oils, the good
and
oils.
they're good for you. We had
Yeah.
Dr.
So
Kostridge
good.
tell us how good they are for us.
Yeah, they are.
Keto diet, is that what they call
Yeah,
it?
yeah, it's
Beautiful.
good.
Nat, what's your topic?
Oh gosh, if only 22-year-old Lucy Jones had a bit more avocados in her life. So she is a trainee flight attendant that has returned 3 negative pregnancy tests and a medical examination. She goes to work, she goes, "Whew, I've got a bit of back and stomach aches." She put it down to cramps that time and all the rest of it. And she's thinking, oh, I must go to the toilet. Oh, she's gone to the toilet because she was on the plane in between services.
Number 2, wasn't it?
Well, that's it. It feels this sensation like, oh, hello, prairie dogging. So she goes into the little toilet.
You're joking.
She gives birth to a baby, arms and legs. You'd look down and go, what did I just eat? But she's given birth to a baby. I can't even get into those little toilets and have a wee. It's like that.
Yeah,
Let
wow.
alone give birth.
Exactly, but no,
baby.
she's brought forth a baby into
And this
the
is a
world.
true
She's a
story,
flight
by the way.
attendant.
It's a true story.
Well, once upon a time, hosties, as they were called back then, weren't allowed to be hosties if they were preggers.
She didn't know she was
didn't know she was pregnant.
Okay, so she worked it out that she was about 8 months pregnant. Because she's gone to the doctor and he's had a squeeze and stuff,
love the way
obviously
you
like
did
we
that,
did
yeah.
with the avocado. He's like, no, you're fine.
Would it be a lot lower, though, wouldn't it?
Probably, yeah, a little
where
bit lower.
avocados lie.
But she's had all that done, and she thought that she'd put because she wasn't showing, she was still
Yeah.
getting the painers and dockers. She had the cramping and stuff, but she just thought, she had a big Christmas, put on a dress size. After Christmas, that's me on a good weekend, and then before you know it, out it comes.
Do you reckon this is genuine?
It's a true
I've
true
heard
story. It's on the
something
internet,
similar.
Fred.
It's
On
just
the
good
internet?
that-
Oh, I
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
believe
yeah,
it.
we
Just
printed
what she
it off.
didn't press flush because those airline toilets, they suck like you
Suck 'em
wouldn't
out,
believe. That would
wouldn't
have,
it?
yeah, exactly.
Suck 'em out,
Do you know,
Sally.
I knew a bloke who was running Qantas here
Who
in
was pregnant?
Perth. No,
Did he
no,
give birth?
But he told me when they'd cleared the dunnies out,
Yeah, there's
they'd-
a baby.
No, they'd find shoes in there.
Shoes in the toilet.
Shoes in the toilet, so people stood on
Oh, that
top
must
of
have
it
been the Mile
and
High.
An
slipped.
accident, yeah.
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 Well, at least
I've
it's
heard of
just
the
a shirt.
Mile High
But
Club.
And it was
this
a-
is
when
the
they were-
thing.
yeah.
Isn't it a nice experience that she's given birth to the
Yes.
baby? She probably conceived it in there as well. So it's kind of, it's a full circle, isn't
Yeah,
it?
she
The
didn't
circle
know,
of
that's
life.
right, yeah, exactly,
If it was a boy, she'd call it Alan. If it was a
wonder-
girl, she'd call it Joyce.
And I wonder what happens. What happens when they land? She hasn't got a passport for the
No.
baby. There's no immigration.
Well, I was
papers.
thinking if she's in between
they-
services, she's got to go and do the nuts, your nuts
oh,
and
yeah.
your coffee. Do you want a beer with that?
Wow.
What's she
Yeah.
going to do with the baby?
Breastfeeding while she's
There
walking
you
down
go.
the aisle.
That's
Yeah,
so
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Chris certainly
that's it,
strikes
yeah.
a
Baby
strange
latches straight
chord.
onto
Yeah.
the avocado.
Yeah.
There
Chris,
you go.
do you have any stories about?
I'm not talking about
libidos,
avocados. I'm not going to have a bitch about pregnancy on a
Alright.
plane or anything like that.
are you
Look,
talking about?
we all know the Commonwealth Games have just started again. Birmingham
And we're doing well.
2022.
Australia's leading.
Well, Nat and I were talking just off air. It's the only event that Australia does well at. Woo!
Yeah, go us.
But then all of the cancel culture has come with it. So the question is, do we need the Commonwealth Games? Are they still relevant? But even then, it's all about, are they as good as the Olympics? Is Birmingham going to invest all this money and then all of a sudden the venues are going to go derelict?
Oh, yeah.
Like apparently happened
Yes.
in Athens.
Yeah, and Sydney.
Oh, and Sydney parts of
Where did
Birmingham.
Athens have the
and
Commonwealth
stuff. No, the Olympics.
Oh, the Olympics. Okay.
Well, that was you. That was the
they
original.
build
You were
everything and
there.
then
I
they
was
get-
there.
That's right. And is it? And then there's the whole connecting to the British Empire sort of stuff.
Now-
But we're just having this conversation
I'm
about
glad you
cancel
brought
culture.
that up because I believe we should still call it the Empire Games, don't you,
Which is
Fred?
the original
Fred,
name.
yes. Let's go back to the Empire.
But what's wrong with the competition? Just
Yeah,
having every
nothing's wrong
4
with
years or every 2 years, if it's staggered between the Olympics, it's great to have a games. I think watching
I
the
think it
games.
is. And, I watch the Olympics and we win hardly anything. And then all of a sudden we're in the pool and it's the Commonwealth Games.
Games.
Do you-
And we are
yes.
winning everything.
I think there's a problem in Australia, and I get to see it all the time on radio. We've created these minority of whingers, and they whinge about everything they don't like, and the government listens to them. And I think we need to change. I mean, I think that there's a point where we say, well, hang on, the Commonwealth Games, the Empire Games, been around so many years. If you want to get rid of them, you have a referendum. Let the people decide. Don't let the whingers decide. They're like anti-vaxxers, and I think the anti-vaxxers cause this kind of
But
dispute.
it's like a party. Like
Yeah.
if you get invited to a party and you don't want to go, you just don't attend.
Yep.
The games are on. The games are on. People
Don't
want to
go.
play sport, literally come together.
Chris,
That's
one
right.
of the things, to me, I watched the opening, and what really got me, it's not Australia, it's not Canada, it's not Britain, it's those little countries
Correct.
Yeah.
with about 10 or
rely on
12 and the looks on their faces, this magic moment in their life. I mean, even Sri Lanka was there, and they're currently killing
Do
each
you know
other.
what I started thinking of? They call it the friendly games, and apparently the reason why it's the friendly games is because all the countries in the Commonwealth speak English. And it got me thinking about in the Olympics at the Athletes' Village, because you've got many people that probably don't speak English, would it be silent in the dining hall?
Oh, yes, that clink.
They'd just be, that you wouldn't talk because, if someone speaks, say, another language and you don't speak this English, well, even French or English,
What's your view,
but
Chris?
everyone
What do you
speaks
think?
English.
What
I reckon
should we
it'd be
do?
great.
Tell us what's your opinion?
Keep the games. Call
Natalie?
it whatever. Keep them going.
What do you reckon, Nat?
Oh, definitely. I like sport because, obviously I'm sports
So keep
inspired
the
myself.
tradition. Don't worry
Yeah.
about what it's called.
I
And
don't care
Ted,
what it's called.
Well, I should withdraw that. They're not killing each other in Sri Lanka,
Yeah.
but they're not being nice to each other in Sri Lanka, and I don't fully understand it. But it's just so great to see the Sri Lankan team there. Oh, look, I think it's
agree.
great. As you said, everybody loves a party.
Everybody, and you know what? It's
Yeah.
the friendly games. I thought they just hot-spotted beds,
Well
but
done.
it's the
Yeah.
friendly games because we all speak English.
I need to thank
Yeah.
you all.
That's right.
Thank you to Ted Bull. We'll see you in a couple of weeks. Thank you to
Yes.
Nat. Nat might be back in a couple of weeks because Jen's away. And of course, Chris Smoyle, we'll see you again when
Thanks.
somebody else. We might even see you in a couple of weeks.
That's
filling
it.
in for Jen.
See you then.
That is the couch for this week. Thanks to all the wonderful crew and our director and our sound people and our DA in the control room. Thanks to you at home for watching the show. Thanks to Barbara looking after our guests. We'll see you next week. Keep smiling, Australia. Bye for now. Have a great week.
On the couch with us. Da-da-da, da-da-da-da. On the couch with us.